guys? I'm your host for the Southern Maryland Showroom, Syed Satterwhite, and with more than 13 stores, the Cody Group is more qualified than anyone to take you on a unique journey. I love the automotive business, but what I don't like about it is the lack of transparency. So what we're doing with our podcast is we're going to bring you in, show you some of the behind the scenes, lift the veil, and give the general public a better understanding of what's going on. So that if you guys are ready, sit back and enjoy the ride, and welcome to the showroom. All right, guys, episode 1 of the Southern Maryland Showroom. I'm your host, Syed Satterwhite. I'm sitting here today with some of the finest salespeople that you'll ever meet in the business. I got Greg Smith of how many years?
17
And I got
years.
Frank. How long you been selling cars?
I've been in business for 40 years, yeah.
40 years. So collectively, we got a lot of information, a lot of talent here. So the business that we're in, nothing happens if these guys don't do their job first in sales, right? It all starts with the sale. And with the sale, you got to have a sales guy. With a sales guy, you got to have people that know how to talk to people. And we got 2 of the finest right here. Greg, you said you've been at Honda for how long?
17 long
17
years.
long years.
Selling Hondas.
You were a cop prior to this.
Sure was.
You know what? And I've worked in the business probably about 20 years. And I'll tell you what, these cops are very organized. That's what makes you guys, I think, in my opinion, like good at what you do. Because you guys are just very organized. You know how to talk to people. You know how to investigate. Right? You never stop digging. Maybe you should have been an archaeologist.
I don't know about that.
Frank,
Yeah.
you've been in the business, you said 40 years?
Yeah, about 40 years. I spent a lot of time as a manager too, but probably about 20 years as a manager and 20 years in sales. Yep.
So a lot of people think that what we do here, a lot of people don't know what we do. Like as far as sales and service, they don't understand what it takes to be like a salesperson at you guys' level, right? Like they don't understand like the time, like and we're going to shine some of the light on it. Like just an average, just how much time do you spend at work a day?
Oh my God, don't even.
Like how, like I've seen it. I've been there with you.
I'm at work 10 hours.
10?
Yeah, 10 to 11 hours.
I probably don't work as much as I used to be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
because I'm old and tired, you know, but no. Like he says, I'm sure he spends 10, 11 hours a day, and I did that for many, many years. I still work full time.
Yeah, I see you around.
At least 8 hours a day.
Yeah,
Yes, we put it in. Still got to
Right,
put it
so,
in.
so when I get here, a lot of times I see you walking in. So you
Right.
guys work hard. A lot of people don't understand the time and effort, energy these guys put in, calling, searching, chasing cars for you guys. Now you work at Honda. You said you've been here about 8 years. How long have you been with the Toyota product?
The
specifically?
Toyota product about 30 years.
About
yeah.
30 years. So even that's a long time. That's a lot of knowledge. Now here's a question. Here's a good question. Which one do you think, after witnessing some of this stuff, being in the business, which product do you like better? Are you drenched in the Honda or?
Right. You already
That's probably
know
the worst question you ever
Right,
asked.
right,
I
exactly. You
gotta
already
ask.
know what I'm gonna say.
Well, just say
right.
it.
I mean,
Say it.
17
All right,
years, 17 years in the business, been doing nothing but Honda. You know, products real good. You know, resale value on the vehicles has to be one of the best ever.
Frank?
I agree. No, and Honda is we're on the same team. Honda's a great product. I mean, I've been selling Toyotas for a long time. That's our main competitor.
Yeah.
We hear Subaru and sometimes
Right.
Nissan. Not only pay
Exactly.
attention to Kia
Totally.
and Hyundai, but the main battle always with our customers
Is-
most of the
is
time
Toyota and
is
Honda.
Toyota and Honda.
Well,
Yep.
And I guarantee you, when they come to see a RAV4, first thing they say to him, let me go check out the
Yeah.
Let me see
CRV.
your
And the
CRV.
same, I get that same thing.
Corolla Civic,
Right,
Camry
right,
Accord,
right.
it's been going on
so
forever.
whatever you're going to compare to either the two.
So let's ask our customers. Comment in the comments, guys. What do you think is the better car, the Honda or the Toyota? I'm a little biased, and I don't want to give my opinion, so I'm going to stay neutral. But you heard it from 2 professionals. So you guys, again, the customer experience is one of those things that drives this business. Again, not knowing what we go through to do it. What do you say? Would you like, coming into this business? What would you tell a new sales guy? Was it like if you could impart some knowledge on people who are thinking about stepping into the business? Because you got to have something about you to do this job, right? What would be the one piece of information that you would give a new sales guy to kind of get them to it?
Courtesy.
Courtesy?
Yeah, courtesy.
Elaborate a little bit more.
I mean by courtesy, you want to be polite to the customer, and you want to be knowledgeable. Because if you don't know your product, and he'll tell you the same way. You got some customers know the product almost better than.
That's true.
I feel like sometimes some of the customers ask you questions only
Just
to
to-
validate
Exactly.
their
That's
how
Exactly.
they feel about
But
the idea.
and they do their research, especially with
absolutely.
Honda customers. And I know he can tell you the same thing. They come in already know what is going on with the car, what's in the car. So you have to be knowledgeable about what you're selling.
Nowadays, buyers are very, very educated.
Yep.
Nobody just plops on the showroom in their
Yeah.
pajamas like they used to on Saturday morning and says, I want to look at some station wagons.
Okay, here's another question. You guys been in the business for such a long time that you guys have entered and the business was one way, and now the business is another way. So what has been the transition from the entry point in your career? And I know you'll be able to go back a little bit further, but what's been the main change that you've seen when you started selling cars to where we are now?
I'm taking you back in, like you said earlier, years and years ago. I'm gonna take you way back
Take
now,
you way
covered
back.
wagon days.
I was 75, born
Yeah,
in 75. So
when I started selling cars here in the early '80s, you'd get families come out, and they get out of the car, husband, wife, 3 or 4 kids, and just start looking. They didn't know which models you had. They didn't know anything hardly about the cars. Very little research is done, maybe in Consumer Reports or something. Nowadays, like Greg was saying, when people hit this lot, they know the packages, the cars, the choices, probably
right.
know your inventory, already done their trade research, the research on their trade-in.
Yeah.
A lot of the work is done before they ever get
Yeah.
here. All they want now is to deal with somebody that they trust, give them straight answers, and make sure they can get in and out.
They want a
People don't
friend.
want to spend here all day anymore. They don't want to spend all day.
Make a
They want a friend. They want to make a
Yep.
friend. That's all.
Now-
And once you make a friend with somebody, it's over after that.
that's it. You
Yeah.
know, I've seen people sell cars that didn't know anything about cars.
Exactly.
So
You know
just make
that.
a friend, sell a car. That's always been
Mhm.
like the people who've been in the business longer than I have. Make a friend, sell a car. It's something that's constant. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't like to touch on. And I'll say this. We'll just dispel this real quick. We don't make $1 million per car sale.
No, you don't.
Okay, it's a lot of
Exactly.
hard work. These guys spend a lot of work. So
You got to sell a large quantity of cars and make some money.
okay,
Yeah,
in this day
exactly.
and age, and a lot of people
That's
don't
right.
take into consideration or like movement of inventory and volume and things like that. Like
Right.
that thing that happened in Baltimore had an
Right.
effect on
Sure did.
everyone's inventory. So
Right.
people, it's not as easy for us to get things like it used to be.
Right.
Okay.
Well, at one point, just to give you an example, 4 or 5 years ago, we had 250 Camrys on ground. 250. We had every model, every color, everything. Somebody says, I want a Camry, we take them back to the bullpen area, just pick out a car. We've been through areas lately where we had no Camrys in stock.
Oh, goodness.
Now, right now, it's good. We're doing great again. We've got, I think off the top of my head, I think we've got 10 or 12 Camrys on ground, which is really a nice selection now.
for now,
5 years
yeah.
ago, that would have been like, we don't have any cars. So, like Greg said, times change, inventories change.
Like we used to stock we used to stock 300 cars.
Mm-hmm.
Cars be 3 in a row. Every,
Mhm.
just like you just said, every color, every model. Now, I don't think we stock by about a ball 50 now. And that's just in new cars.
And new
Right.
cars.
Yeah, and just new cars is by itself. And a lot of times you had the DX cars. So I had to go call another dealership, just try to get the car that you really want.
Here's a good one. What do you prefer selling, new or used cars? I know you guys have both sold both of them. What do
So
you
it
prefer?
kind of really doesn't matter, but I prefer a brand new car, so I don't have to go through the hassle of the pre-owned.
Hey,
inventory.
John Fee's gonna have something to say about
Right,
this one. You
yeah.
better answer.
Too bad, John.
You
I'm
better,
sorry,
you better
but-
answer carefully.
Yeah, but yeah.
I have no preference either. I
Yeah.
like to sell both. I sell more
Yes.
now. I sold mostly used cars for years and years and years. In the past few years, I've been in new cars. So.
Okay.
Well, I will tell you guys this, now that I have kind of transitioned into another part of dealership facilities, sales is where all the fun is. I promise you,
Yeah.
that's where all the fun is.
Okay.
Yeah, all the fun.
Yeah.
Selling cars
Who
is
told
fun.
you that?
All right.
Well, God.
Well, you've been on both sides.
I've been on
so-
both sides.
That is
so-
good. Yeah, you've done both. That's good.
I've done both. I've done everything. I've been
Yeah,
a
you
sales
managed,
manager,
yeah.
been a salesperson, worked a service. So I ran the gamut. This to me, I always called the fun department. I've always wanted to figure out how to get my way into the fun department, and here I am. I made it. And you know what? We appreciate the Cody Enterprise for allowing us to do stuff like this. We're
It's a
cutting
fantastic
edge.
group.
I don't see any other dealerships doing that, and if we see other dealerships doing it, you guys know where you saw it first. You saw it here at the Southern Maryland Showroom here, where these guys are here. So another good question I think is, where do you guys see the future of car sales? I talked to some of the sales guys, and they kind of thought that Carvana model would have took over. Where do you guys see the future of sales going here? Automotive sales.
I think it's had changes over the years.
Yeah.
You know, you heard. I know the internet has changed the business a lot more than anything, but
Right.
I still, like Craig said, just got to take care of people, offer them a good product, stand behind your product, treat people right, and nothing's really going to change there. You know, even if you're dealing with people online, you still have to be
Yep.
polite, transparent, courteous. Just do the right things.
And I've always thought that like people want to interact with people, right? There's only so much automation that people are willing to deal with.
A fine example is when you call Verizon. All you get is
Automated. Nobody wants that
You
when
want to
you-
talk to somebody.
right, you wanna
know,
talk,
how many
especially-
times you done call and you want to actually talk to someone?
right.
Right,
You know?
especially you want your car fixed or
Right,
you want
exactly.
something done with your vehicle. You don't want to talk to a computer.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't know how to wind this down. I just want to say thank you guys for like being a part of our first
Thank
show.
you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem.
Yeah.
You were one of the first persons I thought about.
I feel
and-
special.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm getting ready
This
to
is
say,
the
I
This is the genesis.
I
So
feel
guys
you
see,
invited me, right.
Honda and
Right.
Toyota are getting along. We're shaking
Right.
hands. So
Yeah,
we're coming here to
yeah,
start a
yeah,
war.
yeah.
I want to send a shout out to some of our sponsors. We got Cody Enterprise. What's the cook? And my engineer Duncan McNair behind the camera, who's awful quiet. He's back here, I promise you. He's the one who put all this together and made this happen. I want to thank Andy. I want to thank Shelly Wagstaff for letting us run with these ideas. We look forward to doing stuff like this for you guys. In the comments, let us know some of the stuff you want us to talk about. And we look forward to bringing you more content in the future. Automotive entertainment, guys. Thank you for joining us here in the Southern Maryland Showroom. We'll see you next time.
Peace.